Dear students, in this video we will be discussing about complex tissues. Complex tissues. In the previous videos we have seen different types of simple permanent tissues. Simple permanent tissues. They are parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma. Okay? Parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma. These three are simple permanent tissues. Means they are made up of only one type of cells. Means they are homogeneous. Homogeneous means the tissue consists only one type of cells. But here we are discussing about complex tissues. Complex tissues mean it is a type of tissue which consists different types of cells. Means it is a heterogeneous tissue. Whereas in case of simple permanent tissues, these tissues are homogeneous, means they are made up of one type of cells. But here in case of complex tissue, it is a type of tissue which consists different types of cells, means heterogeneous. Okay, there are two types of complex tissues in plants. There are two types of complex tissues in plants. One is xylem, another one is phloem. Okay, these two are complex tissues in plants. These two together otherwise called as vesicular tissues or conductive tissues or transport tissues, because xylem and phloem are useful for the transportation of water, minerals and food materials. That's why they are also called as vesicular tissues. Since they are performing conductive function, means transportation function, they are also known as conductive tissues. Okay, these are different names for the complex tissues. Okay, now we will discuss in detail about xylem and phloem. Okay, first we will start with xylem. Okay, xylem, it is a type of complex tissue. Xylem is a type of complex tissue. Okay, means it consists different types of cells within xylem. Okay, that's why it is a type of complex tissue. Second point is it performs conduction of water and minerals. Perform conduction of water and minerals. It conduct water and minerals. Okay, next it is locality wise or it is spatially associated with always associated with phloem. Phloem, it is another type of complex tissue. Xylem always spatially associated with phloem, means they are always placed together in plants. Okay. Next, the term xylem is originated from a Greek word. The term xylem, it is originated from a Greek word called xylon, which means wood or timber. Okay, the term xylem originated from a Greek word, that is xylon, which means wood or timber. Okay, the term xylon is given by a scientist called Nageli in 1858. Okay, Nageli gave the term xylon to this complex tissue. Okay, further it is translated as xylem. In English it is called as xylem, but the base term is xylon, which is a Greek word. Okay, next, where it is present, means in which type of plants it is present and in which type of plants it is absent. Okay, that we will see. It is present in all land plants. All land plants means we have 5 groups of plants. There, algae, bryophytes, pteridophytes, gymnosperms and angiosperms. These are the 5 broad groups of plants. Okay, xylem present in land plants. These are land plants: pteridophytes, gymnosperms, angiosperms. Okay, xylem is present in these groups. Xylem absent in algae and bryophytes. Okay, since xylem is present in pteridophytes, gymnosperms and angiosperms, these 3 are collectively called as tracheophytes. Tracheophytes, very important. Tracheophytes. Here the xylem is absent, that's why these 2 groups together called as atracheophytes. Atracheophytes means xylem is absent in primitive groups like algae and bryophytes. Then how these 2 groups of plants perform transportation or conduction means a special type of cells are present in these 2 groups. They are hydroids. Hydroids, a special type of vesicular cells. Through these the transportation will be taken place. Instead of xylem, here we have hydroids, special type of cells. Through these, in algae and bryophytes, the transportation will be taken place. Somehow in algae they transport water and minerals from one cell to another cells through plasmadesmata and other interconnective structures. Okay. Next we will see origin of xylem, means from where it is originated. Okay, there will be 2 types of xylem in plants. One is primary xylem, second one is secondary xylem. Okay, there will be 2 types of xylem in plants. Primary xylem, it is a first formed xylem, means it is occur in primary growth of plants. Whereas secondary xylem, it is secondarily formed xylem which is found during secondary growth of plants or after secondary growth of plants. Okay, these two xylem are originated from different primordias. Their primary xylem originated from the procambium of apical meristem. Primary xylem originated from the procambium of apical meristem. Okay, here we have apical meristem, right? In the primary growth of plants, the primary xylem is originated from the procambium of apical meristem. Coming to the secondary xylem, it is originated from the vesicular cambium. Vesicular cambium means it is present within a vesicular bundle. It is vesicular bundle. Here phloem will be, here xylem. Okay, this is vesicular cambium. The secondary xylem will develop from vesicular cambium. Okay, the primary xylem originated or formed from the procambium of apical meristem. The secondary xylem is formed from vesicular cambium. This is origin points of xylem. Okay, next, very important, components or elements are simply different types of cells of xylem. We already know that xylem consists different types of cells, right? These cells otherwise called as elements or otherwise components. Now we will see what are those different cells present within xylem. Okay, xylem consists 4 types of elements or cells. Okay, 4 types of cells. They are tracheids, second one is vessels, third one is fibers, fourth one is parenchyma. These are all present within xylem. That's why they are also called as xylem tracheids, xylem vessels, xylem fibers, xylem parenchyma. Means they are all nothing but cells only, but based on the structure and functions, they are named in different way. Okay, now we will see in detail about tracheids, vessels, fibers and parenchyma. Before that, we need to understand what are the functions of xylem. Functions of xylem. Here there will be two functions. Okay, one is main function. The main function is transportation of water and minerals. It is main function of xylem, transportation of water and minerals. Xylem and phloem present throughout the plant body, from tip of the root to tip of the aerial branches. It is present throughout the plant body. It always transport water and minerals in an unidirectional way. Unidirectional means it always transport water and minerals from root to aerial part. Okay, this is very important. Okay, whereas in case of phloem, it transport in bidirectional way, means it transport in both root to stem and stem to root also, means it is bidirectional. But in case of xylem, it is transport in an unidirectional way, means it is always transport from root to aerial parts only. Very important. Okay, the second function is mechanical strength. Mechanical strength. It provides mechanical strength to the plant body or plant pods. Okay, how they can provide mechanical support means here we have four cells, right? Tracheids, vessels, fibers, and parenchyma. Of these, tracheids, vessels, and fibers, these three are dead cells. Dead cells. Because in the walls of tracheids, vessels, and fibers, we can see lignin depositions. Lignin depositions. Since they are having lignin material which is very hard in nature, these three are very hard in nature. There is no cellular activities in these cells. Only the function is mechanical support and water transportation through some physical processes. Okay, tracheids and vessels, two together called as tracheary elements. Tracheary elements because they act like a pipelines in plants. That's why these two together called as tracheary elements. Very important. Okay. Even fibers also dead cells. That's why they perform a mechanical function in plants. The only tissue which is living in xylem is parenchyma. Parenchyma, it is only living tissue in xylem. Very important. Okay. Now we will see in detail about tracheids, vessels, fibers, and parenchyma. Okay. First one is tracheids. It is very important question. Even for 2 marks also, they may ask like what are the components or elements of xylem? What are the components or cells or elements of phloem? Like that, you may ask for 2 marks. Or sometimes even they may ask for 5 marks also. Okay, that's why it is very important to remember. Okay. Now we will discuss about tracheids. Tracheids are elongated tube-like cells present in the xylem. Okay, these are elongated tube-like cells with tapering ends. Tapering ends means, I will draw one simple diagram. This is a tracheid cell. Okay, elongated tube-like cells with tapering ends. The cell wall is moderately thickened. Cell wall is moderately thick with secondary wall depositions, that is lignin. Okay, whenever the lignin is deposited on cell walls, there is no chance for the entry of water and minerals inside to the cells. That's why the cell cytoplasm automatically undergone death. Okay, that's why inside of the cell we can see a hollow space called lumen. Okay, lumen. In case of tracheids, the lumen is narrow. The cell walls are moderately thick. Okay, next, it is useful for the water and mineral transportation. Okay, how the transportation is taking place with the help of tracheids means, here there will be small pores on the walls of tracheids. These pores are called as pits. Pits. Okay, the wall of tracheids consist small pores, namely pits. They are useful for the transportation of water and minerals. Okay, now we will see how the transportation will be taken place. These cells are arranged compactly with overlappings like this. Okay, here there will be overlapping, here the pits will be. In case of second cell also we can see pits here. Okay, the water and minerals transported from one cell to another cells through these small pores or pits. Okay, means here the water is transporting through lateral conduction method. Means here the transportation is taking place with the help of lateral pits. That's why this conduction type is called as lateral conduction. Lateral conduction means the water will flow like this and they enter into another cells like this. Okay, in this way the transportation is taken place in case of tracheids. Okay, it is primitive type of tracheiry element. It is primitive type of tracheiry element found in lower plants like pteridophytes. Even tracheids also found in angiosperm and gymnosperms also, but predominantly exclusively they found in lower plants groups like pteridophytes. Okay, in the cross section the cells appear like polygonal or hexagonal. Polygonal. Okay, the cells in the cross section they appear like polygonal in shape. Okay, this is all about tracheids. Next, vessels. Vessels also useful for the water and mineral transportation only, but here the difference between tracheids and vessels is cell shape. Cell shape. Okay, here the cells are short when compared with tracheid. Here the cell is not elongated. Here the cells are tube-like with flat ends. And one more thing, they placed one upon another. Okay, like this. Here also we can see lignin as a secondary wall material, but here the lignin is deposited more. That's why cell wall is very thick when compared with tracheids, and these cells are wider than tracheids. That's why it consists broad lumen. Okay, when compared with tracheid, here the lumen also very wide. Okay, in the cross section the cells usually appear like this, means circular. Okay, here also the wall consists small pores here and there on side walls called pits. Here one more thing, we can also see pores in the horizontal walls also. Here also the pits also present here also. Okay, here the pits arranged on horizontal lines, they are otherwise called as perforations. The number of perforations may be one or two or many, it depends on species. These perforations of vessel elements allow the vertical movement of water and minerals. Okay, that's why here the water can transport in two ways. One is lateral, another one is vertical. This is another row of vessel cells. Here the water can move like this, and also it can move in the vertical manner also. Here we can see vertical passages of water and lateral passages of water. Okay, here there will be two types of conduction. Lateral conduction also taking place, vertical conduction also taking place in case of vessels. That's why it is advanced type of conductive tissue found in advanced groups like gymnosperms and angiosperms. Okay, this is all about vessels. Third one is fibers. And one more thing, due to the lignin depositions, vessels also dead cells. Okay, next coming to the fibers also elongated cells, consist very narrow lumen, the lumen even less wider than tracheids. Okay, these cells are dead because here also lignin is deposited, so that these cells also dead. Here also we can see pits. Here one more interesting thing is pit lumen is greater than cell lumen, means this pit lumen is wider than the lumen of cells. Okay, it is very important point. And next, fibers are useful for the mechanical support. Next, in plants usually we can see two types of fibers. They are fiber tracheids. Second one is libriform fibers. Okay, there will be two types of fibers in plants. They are fiber tracheids. Second one is libriform fibers. We already discussed about fibers where we discussing about sclerenchyma. Okay, the same thing will repeat here also. That fibers and these fibers are same. Okay, this is all about fibers. These three are dead cells: tracheids, vessels and fibers. These three are dead cells, useful for the conduction of water and minerals, and secondary function is mechanical strength. Coming to the fourth type, that is xylem parenchyma. It is only living tissue in xylem. Okay, the parenchyma found in the secondary xylem is classified into two types. Okay, the parenchyma, it is only living tissue in xylem. Okay, the parenchyma found in secondary xylem is classified into two types. They are axial or wood parenchyma. Second one is ray parenchyma or radial parenchyma. These are the two types of parenchyma found in secondary xylem. Parenchyma found in secondary xylem of almost all plants. Okay, broadly that parenchyma classified into two types: axial or wood parenchyma and ray parenchyma or radial parenchyma. Coming to the first type, this is derived from the fusiform. I am talking about axial parenchyma. Okay, this is derived from fusiform cambial initial cells. Okay, it is derived from fusiform cambial initial cells along with other tracheiary elements, means tracheids, vessels and fibers. Along with tracheids and vessels and fibers, these are arised from the fusiform cambial initial cells. Okay, these cells are somewhat elongated and lie in vertical series. Vertical series means, okay, this is xylem. The parenchyma cells are lie in the vertical series like this. Okay, coming to the ray parenchyma. Ray parenchyma, these originated from ray initials of fusiform cambium. Ray initials of fusiform cambium and occur in radial or transverse series, means they are radiating from center to margin like this. This is also parenchyma. This is also parenchyma. In case of axial or wood parenchyma, the parenchyma lie in the vertical series like this. Okay. In case of ray parenchyma, it is placed or it is lie on radial series like this. Whenever we take a section of a stem, the parenchyma which is placed on radial manner, that parenchyma is known as ray parenchyma. Okay, whenever we take a section of stem, the parenchyma which is found lie on the vertical manner, that parenchyma is known as axial or wood parenchyma. This is the only basic difference between these two cells. Okay, coming to the functions, both are perform same function, that is storage of starch, oils and other ergastic substances. Okay, this is the function of parenchyma, okay, which is only living tissue in xylem. Next, here we have to know little bit more about wall depositions in xylem elements. As we know, here the secondary wall material is lignin, which is deposited on tracheids, vessels and fibers. On the walls of tracheids and vessels and fibers, we have seen the lignin is depositing. Okay, here we have to know how the lignin is depositing. Okay, based on the way lignin is depositing, we have five types. They are annular type of wall deposition. Second one is spiral or helical type of lignin wall deposition. Third one is scalariform wall deposition. Fourth one is reticulate type of wall deposition. Fifth one is pitted type of wall deposition. Here the concept is only one, that is how the lignin is depositing on the walls of tracheids, vessels and fibers. That is only the concept. Okay, now I will explain all these things with simple diagrams so that you can easily understand. Okay, whether in case of tracheids or in case of vessels or in case of fibers, we can see 5 types of lignin secondary wall depositions. Okay, for example, this is a wall of whether a tracheid or vessel or fiber. Okay, in case of annular type of wall thickening, what happening means here the lignin is depositing in the circular manner like this. Okay, in case of annular type of lignin wall depositions, the lignin is depositing in a circular manner. Okay, here the lignin deposition can take place after regular intervals. Again, here the lignin will be depositing like this in the circular manner. After a regular interval, again here the lignin deposition will be taken place like this, so that here the lignin is depositing only on a particular areas in the circular manner, ring like manner. That's why this type is known as annular type of lignin deposition. This is first type. Second type is spiral type of wall deposition. This is primary wall of cell. Okay, here the lignin is deposited in the spiral manner like this. Means the lignin only depositing on these lines only. Okay, this type is known as spiral or helical lignin wall deposition. Okay, the third type is scalariform. This is primary wall of cell. Here the lignin deposit on horizontal bands, okay, or strips like this. The lignin will deposit it on these horizontal strips only, okay, like this. This is another type of lignin wall deposition. Okay, whenever the lignin is depositing like this, this type is known as scalariform type of lignin wall deposition. Okay, the fourth one is reticulate type of lignin wall deposition. Here we can see net like lignin deposition. Net like lignin wall deposition. The lignin only deposited in a net like manner like this. Here we can see some places there is no lignin wall deposition. Only at certain places only we are observing lignin wall deposition. It appear like reticulate manner. That's why it is called as reticulate type of lignin deposition. Okay, the last one is pitted type of lignin wall deposition. Pitted type of lignin wall deposition. This is primary wall. Okay, during the secondary wall deposition, except few circular places, the lignin is depositing throughout the wall surface. Okay, these type of wall depositions are called as pitted type of wall deposition. Okay, except few circular areas, remaining entire area the lignin is depositing, so that finally we can see small pits on the cell walls. Okay, it is known as pitted type of lignin wall depositions. Here the only concept is how the lignin is depositing during the secondary wall development. Whenever they deposit in a ring-like manner with regular intervals, the type is called annular type of lignin deposition. Whenever they deposit on spiral-like manner, the type is known as spiral or helical type of wall deposition. If the lignin deposit on horizontal strips, it is known as scalariform. If the lignin deposit in a reticulate manner, the type is known as reticulate type of lignin wall deposition. If the deposition taking place throughout the wall surface leaving a pores, this type is known as pitted type of lignin wall deposition. This is all about wall deposition types. And we have also seen pits on the walls of tracheids, vessels and fibers. Okay, these pits also vary from one plant to another plant. Okay, there are three types of pits found in the plants. There are three types of pits we can see in plants. They are simple pits. Second one is bordered pits. Third one is half simple pits or half bordered pits. Okay, now I will explain these three things with simple diagrams. Okay, this is a cell, this is a secondary cell wall. Here we can see pits. Okay, these pits are useful for the transport of water from one cell to adjacent cells or other cells. Okay, these pit vary from one plant to another plant. Okay, they are classified into three types. Okay, the first one is simple pits. In simple pits we can see pit like this. Here it is pit. The size of pit is equal throughout the pit length. Okay, here the size, for example 2 mm, here also 2 mm, here also 2 mm, even here also 2 mm. In case of simple pits, the width of pit is equal throughout the pit length. Okay, it is called as simple pits. In case of border pits, the pit little bit complex. This is cell wall, this is cell wall, this is pit. Okay, here the pit is narrow here and it is very wider in the middle, means there will be a broad lumen. Okay, that's why, for example, here the pit width is 1 mm, for example, here it may be 6 mm, again here 1 mm, means here the width of pit, it is not equal throughout. Here it is 1 mm, here 6 mm, here 5 mm, here again 1 mm. Okay, this type of pits are called as bordered pits. Bordered pits. Okay, coming to the off simple or off bordered means here one wall consists border type of pits like this. One wall consists simple pit. There are no wall extra growth like this. Only we have simple type of wall in one cell wall. There will be border type on the other wall. Okay, this is usually we can observe between vessels and parenchyma tissues. Parenchyma usually consist simple pits, whereas vessels consist border pits. Okay, this is about of simple border pits. And one more thing, whenever the pits are formed between parenchyma and vessels, for example, this is xylem parenchyma, this is vessel. Okay, whenever the pits are found between a parenchyma and vessel element, sometimes the parenchyma produce an extra growth into the vessels like this. Okay, these extra growths are called as tylosis. Very important for 2 marks. Okay, whenever the parenchyma and vessel elements are associated or arranged side by side with these pits, the parenchyma along with the simple cell wall, that is cellulosic cell wall, they enter or they grow into the vessels, and sometimes it completely block the vessel with bubble like structures. These bubble like structures are called as tylosis. Very important, tylosis. These tyloses are usually formed whenever the plant encountered with adverse conditions like drought or infection or etc. Okay, these are useful for the survival purpose in some adverse conditions. Okay, these tyloses are also reason for the hardness or impermeable nature of hardwood. Okay, this is all about tylosis. Tylosis usually found between parenchyma and vessels. It is also very important. And next, based on the arrangement of pits, based on arrangement of pits on wall surface, based on a criteria, that is arrangement of pits on the wall surface, also we have 3 types of pits. Okay, they are scalariform type of pitting. Second one is opposite pitting. Number 3 is alternate pitting. Okay, this classification is only based on the arrangement of pits on the wall surface. Okay, now we will see with simple diagrams. For example, this is a cell of trachea. For example, in case of scalariform pitting, here the pits are arranged one upon another one like this. The pits are arranged horizontally on a single line like this. This type of pitting is known as scalariform pitting. Okay, coming to the opposite pitting, here for example it is cell of vessel. Here the pits are located on opposite walls like this. Okay, here a pit, another pit located exactly opposite to these pits like this. Okay, this is opposite pitting. Coming to the third one, that is alternate pitting. For example, this is a cell of vessel. Here the pits are alternate. Means like this. Here there will be one pit. Opposite there are no pits. In the oblique manner there will be one more pit. Again here there will be one more pit. Here there will be another pit. Means it is alternate. Okay, this type of arrangement is called as alternate pitting type. Okay, like this, based on the arrangement we have three types. Based on the structure of pit we have three types. Okay, this is all about xylem and their elements and pits types and different types of wall depositions. In the next video we will discuss about phloem.